everyone, it's Intang Mayumi. I have spring cards and hello cards today. I use Penny Black April Showers stamp set and Authentique Refresh 6x6 paper pad. This paper pad is perfect to match with the stamp set. I also use Art Impressions Foliage Set, Flower Set, and Garden Wagon Mini Set. The dies I use are Sizzix Framelits Scallop Circles, Sizzix Framelits Circle Die Set, and Spellbinders Fancy Edge Ovals. I also use Altenew Birch Land Stamp Set and CC Designs Scallop Rectangles. And the last one I use is the DCWV Textured Pastels Cardstock 6x6 paper pad. For the first card, I'm going to stamp the umbrella images on the pattern papers, and I'm stamping them with Versafine Onyx black ink, and I'm using 4 of the umbrella images. Now I'm going to stamp them on a watercolor paper, and I'm also stamping it on the post-it tape because I'm going to mask the umbrella. So I'm just cutting the mask right now, and then I'm going to add that on top of the umbrella that I already stamped, and then I'm gonna stamp another one, so the other one will be the behind that first stamp umbrella. And now I'm going to blend some I think this one is the Peacock Feathers Distress Oxide ink. You can see I already die cut these small panels with Elizabeth Craft Designs Dashing Rectangles, and now I'm going to stamp Happy Spring on the bottom part of that panel. So again, I'm using Versafine Onyx black ink. I forgot to say, but apologies for my stained hands because my kids and I did a tie-dye project that day, so my hands are stained from that, but they are clean. And now I'm going to adhere my umbrellas on the stamp umbrellas. I stamp it again on the panel because I need the handle on the umbrella, so I don't have to fussy cut that part. So that's what I did. And now I'm going to adhere my pattern papers. I cut them off camera to save some time, and then I'm just going to add them to my card base. And I also have that piece, the skinny piece, and those ones are cardstock scraps that I have, so I just added there to so I don't have seam on those two papers. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the other cards. So I did 4 of this Happy Spring with umbrella design, and then you will see later that I also did 4 of each of the designs that I'm of the cards that I made today. For the inside of the cards, I'm going to just add the cut up parts, and I use the ones that have umbrella, and I'm just going to add them in the corner, bottom corner of the inside of the cards. For the embellishment, I have this Nuvo, I don't know what it's called. I think it's like a raindrop jewel, and the color is really pretty. And I got this with the Simon Says Stamp card kit that I bought last time. And I thought these ones are perfect for embellishments for these cards. For the second card, I already have die cut my ovals from scraps of cardstock, and I'm going to stamp the raindrops with Kaleido Tomato Vine ink. I'm gonna stamp that on 4 of this oval die cut. I already have everything cut and die cut for these cards too, so I'm adding my matting right now, and then I'm going to add this strip in the middle, and then I will also add this oval scallop die cut in the middle of the card, and I'm using my tweezer here so I can line up perfectly in the middle. And then this is the one that we stamped earlier. I'm gonna add that in the middle of the scallop oval, and then I will add my clouds. So I went ahead and stamped the clouds on my scraps of pattern papers as well. So, and then we'll add the happy spring sentiment on the bottom. So I will do the same thing with the other 3 cards, adhere them on the card base. For the inside of the cards, I will stamp the raindrops and also the clouds, the big and small clouds, with Kaleido Tomato Vine ink. For the third card, I already have the circles die cut here, and I die cut 4 of them. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna stamp the birch tree on the right side of that circle die cuts, and I'm going to use my mini misty here, so to make my life easier, and I'm stamping my birch tree stamp with Versafine Sepia ink. And I'm also going to stamp the branches or the branch of the birch tree, and I'm trying to figure out here where to place it so I can also fit my 2 birds. So the same thing, I'm stamping it with the same color of ink, the Versafine Sepia ink. And for the leaves, I'm stamping the stamp set has these leaves that you can stamp, that you can use, and I'm using Modlon Distress Oxide ink and Memento Cottage Ivy ink to stamp that images or leaves. And then I will stamp my hello friend on the upper part of that circle die cut with Versafine Onyx black ink. I also have the birds stamp, colored, and fussy cut off camera. I colored them with zig markers. And now let's go ahead and adhere everything together. I'm using scratch copy paper for my pattern papers. I added it on the scratch paper first, so it's easier for me to cut to the size that I want for my card base, because I also want some border when I add them on my card base. If I adhere them right away on my card base, it won't be precise, and I also need to add the strip of cardstock, a strip of cardstock in the middle or the seam of these two pattern papers, and then cut the excess paper. And then I'm going to do the same thing on all of the four panels or pattern papers. And now we can adhere it on our A2 size card base. As you can see, this one is not precise like what I said, so I just cut that excess card base on the right side. And then we can also add our scallop die cut, and then our circle die cut on top of that scallop. So I'm adhering this circle die cut with foam tape on the back. And then as you can see, I already adhered the cut parts on the upper left corner of the card, and then I added the birds. So I'm gonna do the same thing on all of them. I forgot to color the birch tree, so I'm just quickly coloring them with my mustard and oatmeal zig markers. For the inside of the cards, I'm gonna just adhere the cut parts in the corner, and I'm using liquid glue to adhere them. For my fourth card, I'm going to stamp my rainbows on my pattern papers, and I'm stamping them two on each of the pattern papers. Then I'm going to cut them and color them with my zig markers. And you can color this rainbow with any mediums that you have, Copic markers, colored pencils. I even use, you will see later that I use gel pen to color them. So I think I really like that gel pen because it gives a little bit of shimmer. So there is the gel pen that I use for this rainbow here. stamping the rainbows again on the scallop rectangle, and as you can see, I'm stamping the foliage, the art impression foliage set, and the other sets that I showed earlier or in the beginning of the video. So I'm going to do the same thing with the other three uh, stamp image, and then I'm using memento ink here. I'm going to add a little bit of water on the stamp floral or foliage so the ink will spread a little bit, and then I'm going to adhere our stamp on pattern papers, rain boots on top of that. So this rain boots looks like it has flowers in it. So I'm gonna do the same thing with the other one. And then I'm going to add some shadow under the rainbows with my fog gray zig marker, and then I'm going to blend that with with water using my paintbrush. For the sentiment, I'm going to stamp "Hello Friend" again on the upper left corner of that die cut panel. Here are my leftover scraps. I will try to use them all on my last 4 cards. I will cut thin cardstock to use as the base for my scraps, and I'm just going to piece them together like a quilt. And I don't mind if there's a small, big, or it's not the same size, as long as it will fit on my card base and I can have the border on my cards. After I piece everything together, let's go ahead and adhere them on our card base or card bases. I was going to adhere the scallop rectangle with foam tape, but I forgot to do that, and I was just I remembered it when I was already adding them on the card base. So I'm just using strong double-sided tape and a little bit of liquid glue to adhere everything together. And I'm using my bone folder to varnish so everything will adhere well. Still have a little bit of scrap here, but not much, and I'm going to use them inside the cards. So I'm just going to cut them and then adhere it on the bottom part inside the card. And then I also have leftover of the clouds that I fussy cut, so I'll just adhere them on the left side. And these are the scraps that I have left and 3 pattern papers. So not bad, I almost used everything from the paper pad. I made 16 cards in total today using the Authentique Refresh 6x6 pattern paper and Penny Black April Showers stamp set. I love the colors on these cards. I think these cards turned out very pretty. I hope you like today's project, and as always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye bye.